Hello, people. Hi. How are you on this Thursday evening? I hope all of you are good. Mimi niko poa. Mko salama? Mko salama? How has your week been? How's everything? What a week, right? What's new? What have been your wins? Your bad moments? I'm Wambo, your Cheng, founder of Gemini Spice Magazine, and welcome to this live. I am so glad for anyone who will be joining us. I will be interviewing a very marvelous woman. When she gets here, she will tell us her name. And we're talking a very important topic, period poverty. Now, if you've been following us, following me, you've been seeing that the entire month we've been talking about period, menstrual health awareness. And it just happens that tomorrow is 28th May, which is World Menstrual Health Hygiene Day. Menstrual Hygiene Day. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you excited about this? I am excited because this is something very serious, as I've been telling you, something that has not been shed on so much light. So we need to focus all our resources there. We need to focus all our resources there. We need to give as much awareness as possible because menstrual health, menstrual cycle, menstruation is a part of every woman's life. And we come into this world without knowing anything about it, and then we get to around 39 to 69 to 20, and we get our periods, and no one really prepares for the really in things that happen when you start your period. People don't tell you that some girls will miss pads. Some girls will have no other instrument of choice other than pads, and it's such a sad scenario. It's such a sad scenario, and this topic, period poverty, which is among our last topic, is quite critical to the existence of girls. So many girls miss school, miss work, miss participation, dignity, health, because of lacking period instruments. And I am just about to let Yasmin in so that we can have this conversation. And I hope that you people will be joining, will enjoy. In case of any questions, comments, suggestions, you can comment. And now, let us admit Yasmin. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, she will be joining in just a minute. Perfect. Yasmin,
Hi.
Sasa.
Poa, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Why am I seeing you like this?
Maybe let me, what about this?
Now I'm seeing you like this. Now I are perfect.
Thank you.
Well, we've gone through so much trying to get this live. I thought it was not going to happen, but here we are. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Unanisikia poa?
Yes.
All right.
Am I also
Talk to me.
audible?
Yes, you are audible. You're audible. Let me increase my sound. For now, I can hear you quite well. I don't know about my followers. Maybe I should just remove my... Do this. Can you hear me good?
Yes.
And I can hear you good. How has your week been?
My week has been a bit hectic and also exciting at the same time because
Yeah.
I've been really running up and down in preparation of World Menstrual Hygiene Day. And
Yeah.
this year we'll be doing it in a very unique way, whereby we'll be cycling around, like we'll be doing the menstrual cycle. Now now it's not like the biological process, but the non-biological, like we'll be using bicycles to move around the informal settlement of Kibra. So I'm really, really excited and looking forward to the day tomorrow. Yes.
I am also so excited. You know, when you told me that you're cycling for menstrual health, I was like, wow, yes, because there was a time I was thinking about cycling for menstrual health too. And I was thinking, well, the 28 cycle, and this is a bicycle. And it's such a shame that there was a time in our lives that women were not allowed to ride bicycles, you know? Like it
Yeah.
was not that we would lose our highness, it will look like it's an ungodly thing to do. But I am so glad that you've organized this event together for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Menstrual Hygiene Day, and I
Yeah.
am glad there is somebody who is doing something out here. And before I get distracted too much, let us introduce you to our audience. Please tell us your name, what you do. Yeah.
My name is Yasmin Mohammed. I am 27 years of age. I am a menstrual champion and also the founder of a community-based organization based in Kibera called Superb. Superb is a
Superb.
feminist women. Yes. So Superb is a
Hi.
feminist women's rights organization, and we work towards promoting the rights of women and girls in the informal settlement of Kibra with an aim of achieving gender equality. So one of our thematic areas is promoting good health and well-being. And through that scope, we are working on menstrual health management through facilitation of menstrual health, as well as facilitating the menstrual dignity kitties. So we've been doing distribution of sanitary towels, we've been distributing panties, we've been doing soap, and also during COVID, the package was with also face masks. So we are really excited because I can't wait for tomorrow and see how people will turn out in large numbers. As well as we'll be like breaking the taboos and also the now the cultural norms that are not even like they're not even factual, you see. So we want to change the narratives and also break taboos, the period shame, period stigma, as well as to fundraise, because the main objective is to fundraise for this cause, because our girls and women are going through a lot and they're experiencing period poverty. And as a result, we want to do this course with the name of also supporting them. And not only will be on the road like cycling, but also cycling with a purpose, like the
Yeah.
purpose of fundraising for them to access sanitary towels and also to demystify some of the myths and misconceptions that comes along with menstrual health. Along will be engaging boy child in the conversation. We want men
Yeah.
to be allies. We want men to take like lead in facilitating menstrual health management. Like it's not like
Yeah.
it's women issue, but rather this is a human rights issue. So they need to engage with us and keep the conversation going. Yeah.
That is such amazing work. I see Asha Jaffa says, good work, yes. And I am also feeling that vibe. And I'm thinking that name Superb just is superb. And it just says exactly what you're doing, because this is superb work. I am so glad that somebody may dedicate their lives and their energies to do this.
Mm-hmm.
With us, Gemini Spice, we dedicated May to menstrual health because May is a month of rebirth. May is the one that, regenerates us. It's almost katikati ya year, and it's when you start thinking, oh, New Year's resolutions, where am I? Where have I gotten? And because it's
Yeah.
such a month of rebirth, a period of rebirth, I thought, what else can describe rebirth better than talking about menstrual health, our menstrual cycles? Because our cycles are replenishing. They are a rebirth to us who menstruate. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the first topic we did was instruments of choice, where we discussed the evolution of sanitary pads, from really weird sanitary pads that were being operated in those eras, like kitambo, to to menstrual cups now, which are more sustainable, more durable. And then we went on to talk about period shame, which is something I heard that you mentioned, and you'll be demystifying this myth that people have about periods, and why girls and people who menstruate have this period shame that is really, really, really uncalled for. Because I did these articles, we talked about it, and at the end of it I wondered, why then are we making girls and people who menstruate feel so ashamed of something that is so natural, something that is so divine? Actually, this period is something that makes us strong, something that makes us unique, who we are, right?
Yeah.
So after that, we did menstrual disorders, where we talked endometriosis, and it's still the same thing as doing all these topics. There is no information, there are no resources towards this, because as you said, and as I totally agree, they are thought of as women issues, and any issues that wanawake, they can be dealt with at a corner somewhere. People do not have to be involved. Men cannot be involved. That's why they still sale of sanitary pads, because men and the patriarchy do not see this as something that is worth discussion. Yet it happens to more than 60% of our population, which is just an injustice.
Yeah,
So I
it's
am
true.
so glad
And
that me and you
and
sit down and have this
yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
tell
also
me
as
about. Yes, continue,
I
please.
was saying, like as you were speaking, I was retrieving some information from there was this statistics that states that 65% of women like cannot access sanitary towels, and because
Yes,
of many causes, like because of poverty, because of the cultural, like discriminatory cultural practices. Like you find in the
yes,
northern part of Kenya, women are not being allowed to use like the disposable sanitary towels, but instead their culture said that you are supposed to go and sit outside and dig something like a hole, sit on that on the hole until you are done. Then again tomorrow the same thing. So I'm really glad because the conversation is going on, and at least different parts of the world that we are improving. And I'm also glad because at least we have Scotland, where it's the first country to like offer free sanitary towels. Like I celebrate Scotland big time, big time. And I wish like Kenya would follow the footsteps of Scotland, and believe you me, will be
yes,
like miles away from where we are right now, because
totally.
period poverty affects it affects so many aspects of a girl's life. Like for instance, we have the economic aspect, we have the
Yes,
education aspect, we have
yeah.
the social aspect, we have political, like so many things in
We
a girl's
have
life. Like
dignity, we have health, right?
yeah, we have
Because
dignity, we have health.
it is very difficult for somebody to embrace periods and their menstruation and their menstrual cycle when it's not a dignifying process, when they do not have access to pads, when they are told to go sit away from everybody, dig a hole, stay away. I mean, it looks like a punishment, you know.
Yeah,
Apart
yeah,
from the pain that women experience during this cycle, during this period, the pain, the discomfort, the fact that there is blood coming out of your body, and then we have this that somebody cannot afford pads, so they have to use some cotton
unsanitary
or
materials, like
exactly.
unhealthy materials. Yeah.
And just before you joined, I was going through some notes, and I was looking just like you said. I'm just echoing what you've said. That menstruation is not just, it's not a one single thing. It's not a one day thing. It's the menstrual cycle. It's from when a girl is born to when she dies. Because even when you get to menopause is not just like your period stops and that's it. Well, good luck. You came, you saw, you conquered. Nah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's that
It is a
cycle. It's
process.
that, yes, it's something. It's not one thing. It's connected to an entire woman's life. It's their education, because if they are lacking periods, they can't attend school, right? I remember a case that I saw in 2019, that a girl committed suicide after she had
Yeah.
been told to get out of class by her teacher because she soiled
Mhm.
her dress. And
Mhm.
you wonder, did
Mhm.
she have access to menstrual products? And if, anyway, All I'm saying is
Yeah, it's
that
true.
menstrual health is such a big part of a girl's life in economics. I mean, the reason why we are so behind and many women are so behind is because in education, a woman, if you do not have access to these parts, a woman will lose like 1 week of school, meaning you won't
Yeah.
participate, you won't learn. If you're in
Mhm.
school, if you're working, you won't go to work, right?
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
Even
sawa sawa.
even engaging into activities, it will be hard, like the social aspect. If you can't afford
Yes,
sanitary towels, then it will be hard for you to go and interact with your friends, because you'll be afraid of maybe soiling your cloth and them teasing
exactly.
you or start mocking you. So it's something that we need to sit down and act on it.
Yes. And as we are talking about period poverty and your organization and what you've been doing, tell us more about when did you begin this work, this good work? Thank you for the people who are joining. Kate Mombi, Saida Ali, Nasur, we are seeing you. Thank you. Contribute to our conversation. Wave to us, ask us questions. This pro will be ready to answer. Tell
Yeah.
us more about Superb. When did you start?
So Superb, I started to Superb in 2013, and
Wow.
I was in another organization where I was a beneficiary. So when I left the organization, I felt the need of coming and starting my own initiative, because someone worked with me in that organization. So I also need to work with other young girls and also
Yeah.
women in the informal movement of Kibra, and that's how I started Superb. So someone was there for me, so I need to also be there for other girls as well.
And you chose Kibra. Is it because that you've grown up in Kibra, or is it just an area of interest that you found? What drove you to
So,
Kibra?
so being born and raised in Kibra, girls and women experience myriad of challenges here and I also believe in also other informal settlements.
Yeah,
Such challenges do exist. We are women, we experience the same issues, the same challenges.
yeah,
So the fact that I was born in Kibra doesn't limit me from spreading my wings to other
yeah,
parts of the country, and also looking forward to like go and see, like learn from Scotland. So it's something that I'm looking forward to, like in future. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to learn, because I've engaged with youth or other organizations from Kamukunji ward. I've engaged with
yeah.
organizations from Kajiado. So it's something
Mm.
that doesn't limit me by the fact that I come from Kibra. So it's something that I do also reach out to other women and girls in different parts of the country.
Yeah. So as you've
Yeah,
been from 2013, that has been so long. That's close to 10
7 years.
years. You're on your eighth year, right? Congratulations,
Now
congratulations. That's so
this year,
amazing.
yeah. Mm.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud that you're doing this. And I can go out there and say, yes, this is the work that feminists on the ground are doing. So
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
as you're interacting with these girls, and as you create awareness, go around these places, what is it that you've noticed that young girls, what is the general attitude of young girls towards periods and towards the entire
So,
menstrual cycle?
so what I've noticed is that still our girls do experience period shame, and they still have fear. They don't want to speak about it, and it's something that again I'll keep on repeating myself. We need to address this issue of period shame and period fear, because
Mm.
when a girl starts menstruating, the fear is they're afraid of going to talk about it with their parents and also even with
Yeah.
their teachers, because again when we look at menstrual health, it's part and parcel of sexual and reproductive health and rights, and it's a topic
Yes.
that our parents are afraid. Also, they are also ashamed of speaking about sex education with their kids. So once a girl
Yes.
starts to menstruate, they find it hard to talk about menstruation. Even when we go for the sessions, when you start talking about the reproductive system, because you have to start from somewhere. So we start with
Yeah.
the reproductive system, with the organs and everything. So after that, now we start facilitating on menstruation, now the process itself. Now you'll find
Yeah.
that when we are doing that, it's very hard for like girls to concentrate. And when we are in a class where also boys are in, you'll notice the attitude. Like they'll start laughing, like they'll start like producing some sounds, and
Yeah.
now the boy child will start engaging more than girls. So we need to continue empowering our young girls to not to be
Mm.
afraid of this like normal or rather natural process. It's something that we
Yeah.
need to be proud of, and they don't need to like have any fear or any like negative feelings towards their menstruation. They need to talk about it. Once they start menstruating, let them reach out to their like superhero, maybe their mom, their aunts, whoever they stay with, and they share the experience. It's something that we need to be happy about it. We need to be proud about it.
Do you feel like the older women in these girls' houses, for example, you've said that girls should reach out to their moms, their aunties, their maybe elder sisters, or whoever is near them, right?
Yeah.
Somebody says good work, Yasmin, and I echo them. Thank you for all those who are joining us. We are having a conversation with Yasmin. We are talking period poverty. And we're also talking about an event that she will be having tomorrow in Kibra about creating awareness of period poverty, fundraising. So in case you have any questions, please feel free to comment, ask questions. She will be answering them. So do you feel
Yeah.
that the older women in our society are free enough to share this information about periods and period poverty and menstrual health to these women, these young women? Because you and I have experienced that the people who brought us up, the people who were older than us as we were growing up, were not very comfortable. Is it something that is changing? Do you have hope in that happening?
To be honest, there is still the intergenerational gap, and it's sad because you'll find this old woman, or rather this mature woman, cannot sit
Yeah.
with her daughter to teach her, or rather inform her of when
Mm.
upon reaching puberty, this and this, there are changes that will occur, or rather you'll notice some changes in your body, but instead they leave it to them, like to their teachers. And in school, what
Yeah.
we learn is just it's not like in depth. It's not comprehensive like sex
Yes.
education, but rather it's a
Mm.
topic like you'll only learn about the reproductive system, and that's it. There
Exactly.
is no like session or other topic on how to change your sanitary towels, the menstrual disorders, and everything. So it's something they usually
And even
just
how to
like
put
brush
the
off.
sanitary pad on the underwear. That's a big deal, because when I was growing up, I remember wondering, does the wider side go in front, or does it go behind? Those kind of things that are so little,
Yeah,
but yeah, people, we are not educated much on this, even in biology. Even, yes, I think you want to
yeah,
say something.
yeah. And also maybe to add on the intergenerational thing, you'll find that what
Yeah.
our grandmothers were using before, it's not the same thing or rather the same materials or fabrics that we are using right now. So you'll find that
Yeah.
if you grew up in a society, or rather in a community that still uses rags, you'll end
Yeah.
up using rags. And if they
Exactly.
don't facilitate hygiene, then again you'll
Mm.
end up getting infections, which is bad to your reproductive system. So we
Mm.
need to see on how we can engage even our elderly women around these topics, because we've had this conversation through the radio, and we've had several questions being asked by the elderly women, like
Yeah.
people sharing that they do experience menstruation and this happens. What should they do? So this means
Yeah.
that they also don't have enough information about menstrual
Mm.
health and hygiene. So we don't need to assume things as our menstrual champions. When we go to a space, let's facilitate comprehensively, in depth, for each
Yeah.
and every participant or other audience to understand
Yeah.
menstrual health management. Because one day they'll have their daughters, and their daughters will reach puberty. They'll need to also facilitate what they've learned, even if they learned it like elderly age.
Yeah. And on our the first week actually, when we were doing menstrual instruments, we engaged somebody. She's called Abby. She's the founder of Grace Cup, and we were talking about instruments of choice. And one thing, actually, two things stood out. One is that there are people who believe that pads are the only instruments of or the only menstrual instruments. So they have there are these superstitions all around tampons, all around menstrual cups. I remember there was one time I was discussing with an older woman about tampons, and I told her, "Oh, nowadays I'm using tampons," and she was like, "What? You put something in your vagina? That is very." She thought it was sort of demonic. Actually, she thought it was
Yeah.
unreligious, unclean. Do you experience such things as you do your work?
Yeah, still people do exist that the only menstrual product or other menstrual instrument that we have is the disposable sanitary towels, of
Yeah,
which like we are in the 21st century, and things do like upgrade. And
yeah,
now we are having pad pants, like panties that are period absorbent.
yeah,
So even like in 2030, we'll have different types of menstrual products that will come on board. So
mm,
even us, when we do facilitate on menstrual products, you'll find that still people do have the fear of inserting, like the ones that are being inserted through the vagina. They have fear
yeah,
of using the menstrual products. And when we
yeah,
do facilitate, we usually give them like choices. It's them to like decide which type of menstrual products they want to use. So as is only facilitation of menstrual health management, and sorry, it's upon you to make decision on which menstrual product you will use. And talking of sustainability, we have the reusable sorry, talking of
do you need some
sustainability, we have
water?
reusable
Do you
we
need
have
some
the
water?
reusable
Yeah, you
yeah,
could get
okay, so
some
it's
water,
okay.
I think. Yeah,
It's fine. So we have the reusable sanitary towels, we have
yeah,
menstrual cups, and these are period products that are sustainable. So let
yeah,
us think of sustainability, because we'll not only like keep on using disposable, because again, when we look at environment, it is not eco-friendly. So we
yes.
need to adjust to the sustainable and friendly products.
As do you? I'm sure you hold many parts drive in your work and menstrual instruments drive. Which is the side that people lean more? Are they still stuck on the on sanitary pads, sanitary towels, or have people started embracing, as they are contributing to your pads drive? Do they embrace these other things? Do they contribute for menstrual cups or this clothes pads or the underwear that absorb your period? Which ones do they lean on more?
So to be honest, the society that we live in right now, they do depend on the disposable sanitary towels. But again, that is on our beneficiary side. But to our supporters and well-wishers, they usually think of sustainability. Like, what are the sustainable ways on like us ending this period poverty? And then they think of the sustainable menstrual instrument, or rather menstrual product. So our beneficiaries are not yet like fully empowered on the different menstrual products. And it's high time as menstrual champion to take that into consideration and empower them that we have different types of menstrual products, and we teach them as well on how they're supposed to be put on, and for how long, and yeah, and also when it comes to hygiene, when they need to like change, or they change the menstrual product for them to be able to
Yeah,
live again healthy with the different menstrual products. And also when you talk on the donors side, or rather the supporters side, then they
yeah,
usually think of what are the sustainable ways on how we can end period poverty. And for us, we usually think of menstrual cups and reusable sanitary towels. Now we also have the period pants, like we have these panties that are made, or that are made to absorb the period blood.
yeah,
So as much as our beneficiaries are using the disposable one, we usually like sensitize or rather emphasize more on the sustainable ways or other means of using different menstrual products.
Yes, there's something I discussed with Abby, I've discussed with many other menstrual champions about hygiene when it comes to menstrual cups. I think I agree with everybody who shares this thought that they're the most sustainable because they're reusable. You can stay with them for so long. Once you give a girl that one menstrual cup, she will use it for a long time. But then there is the issue of water, because most of these people who do not have sanitary pads are in informal settlements where there is lack of water. So how do you deal with that challenge that there is not enough water to be hygienic, to clean afterwards, to clean when you're going through your period? So how do you combat that?
With access to clean water, I'll put it this way, like what are we doing in terms of wash, like water sanitation and hygiene,
Yeah.
in relation to menstruation. So what we
Yes.
do is when we like sit with the policymakers, we tell them, we urge them that we need clean water, we need access to clean water because again, in the informal settlement, there is water scarcity. So when we go out there to advocate for like good health and well-being for women and girls, we ensure that we advocate for access to clean water for women to be able to clean their genitals frequently, because again, when you talk about menstrual hygiene, it goes in handy with the menstrual product that you are using, as well as washing your genitals
Yeah.
frequently during menstruation. And
Yeah.
again, when we look at the sanitation, you'll find in the informal settlement, there are in one plot, in one plot that has like 10 households, there is only one toilet. And that one toilet
Yeah.
is not even conducive for that menstruating lady, a girl or a woman, to go and change her sanitary towels, or because there is lack of water, or even the washroom is not clean. So this is something that we usually keep on advocating for. And also when we get chance to sit with the policymakers, we usually talk about it. We usually talk about access to clean water as well as proper sanitation.
So, I mean, this is such good work that you do. I'm sure it has many challenges as you continue doing it. I mean, there are some times that you look at your achievement versus the problem at large, and you wonder if it's still working, right? I'm sure even me in my line of work, I usually think like that. What are the challenges that you experience in this when you're trying to facilitate this with the work that you do for Superb, with Superb? Yes.
So the challenges that we do experience is at times we usually exhaust, like our pad bank usually like get exhausted because again you'll find the demand is too high. We have so
Yeah.
many adolescent girls, so many teenagers, so many women coming to the organization to like take the menstrual product.
Yeah.
So the challenge is having enough sanitary towels at the office, and as well as we need to have resources that will facilitate in menstrual health management. Again, accessibility of sanitary towel is one thing, and passing knowledge and information is another thing. And also we
Yeah.
need to have positive actions and also concrete innovation, in that we need to come up with innovative ideas on how we can end period poverty. And now
Yeah.
this brings me back to we innovated at pad dispenser. So we are thinking of the positive solutions and also innovative ways of ending period poverty. So last year we innovated a pad dispenser out of used water jerry can. And actually tomorrow's activity will be fundraising for a digital pad dispenser, because now we are using like analog I'll say
Yeah.
analog pad dispenser. So with tomorrow's activity, we are looking forward to fundraise and purchase a digital pad dispenser where a girl can just come and like press a button, then sanitary towels will just come, and she'll be sorted
Exactly.
out in dignity and equity, without fear and without shame.
And I feel like this one should also be put like I am a fighter for, making sanitary pads free. Like, this is something I'm going to fight for until I die. I don't care if it happens or not, but this is something that I need to fight for. I'm thinking that in public toilets that we go through, is eco cho in Tao, that there should be pad dispensers. Like, I have seen condom dispensers in even those toilets, the women toilets, but no one ever thought to put a pad dispenser. Well, this is something that is so critical.
Yeah, and sex is a choice, while menstruation is not a choice. Menstruation can start at any time, for heaven's sake. It can start when you are in church. It can start when you are praying at the mosque. It can start when you are in the market. It can start anywhere.
When
But
you're
for
in the
sex, it's
bus, just
something that you
traveling.
choose. Yeah,
Yes.
but for sex, it's something that you choose. I'll engage into sexual activity. So it's something that you've prepared to do. But for menstruation, we
Exactly.
need to think outside the box.
Yeah, so as you've said that you are an SRHR activist, right? That you educate people on sexual health and reproductive rights. What does that entail? Because I've been hearing this word and I am thinking, yes, it's something that I would like to know about, and sex is something that we need to talk about, because if we are talking about menstrual health, we are talking about sex, we need to talk all about this. What does this SRHR mean, and what is it, and what should people know about it?
So sexual and reproductive health, SRHR means sexual and reproductive health and rights. And this consists of so many components. We have the maternal health, we have access to family planning, we have access to knowledge and information on reproductive health, we have access to information on the STIs, HIV. It's something that is wide. So when we
Yeah.
talk about SRHR, it's not that we are advocating for our girls or our boys to go and engage into sexual activities, but
Yes.
rather to be able to to strengthen their capacity for them to be able to make informed decisions pertaining their sexual and reproductive health.
Yes. And I like the word that you used, informed decision, right? Because, for example, our girl has started her period, and in their class they were not really taught exactly what. For example, I was taught science by a male teacher who got to that point and says, hizo ni vitu zenyu, and he did not bother talking about it, and the boys were laughing and the girls were dropping their heads in shame. So
Yeah.
for somebody who went to such a class, you wouldn't know that once you've begun your period, you have unprotected sex, you can get pregnant. I mean, I'm thinking about that informed choice. That's why we have so many girls who get pregnant without knowing that they can get pregnant, because they're just doing it as, like when you're young, you do not even know exactly what you're getting into. You just do
Yeah.
it because, I don't know, it's fun, or people are doing it, and you do not know the repercussions of this.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it's true. And
continue, please.
you've spoke about teenage pregnancy, and that again now brings me back to menstrual health management. Now you see, when
Yes.
a girl who comes from a very vulnerable background lack the means to access this menstrual product, her only choice will be go and access it somewhere else. And maybe
Yeah,
that when she will be accessing that sanitary towels, they'll need something in return, and that is sex.
exactly.
So she'll engage into sexual activity for her to be able to access this menstrual product, and that
Exactly.
again, she'll end up getting pregnant.
And
It's not good.
I saw this. I was talking to a friend of mine who runs an anti-FGM and early child marriages campaign in Pokot, and she was telling me that there are so many of these girls who lack sanitary pads, and the only way that they can get them is by sleeping with people so that they can get this pad, because it's totally important. And I understand that. I totally understand. This is not something you would want to miss, right? So
Yeah.
I saw a campaign, an initiative on NTV one time. I do not know what happened. I was just buying food at a restaurant, and I see there is an initiative called Funga Miguu campaign, and I left that place so angry. You know, Funga Miguu campaign, it's such an ugly statement because
Mm,
it does not address the issues. Actually, that was even after the report in 2020 in May about the girls that had become pregnant during COVID, the ones that
mm,
slept with very older men during that time. And I was wondering, Funga Miguu campaign, what are we really trying to say? You know, it's like these girls are just going out there spreading their legs, having sex for no good reason. And
mm,
you
mm.
listen to these stories of girls who have missed who do not have sanitary pads and they have to sleep with people to get them. And you get that. And that the solution is not telling girls to close their legs. The solution is providing sanitary pads for these girls.
Yeah. Mm, mm, mm.
What do you feel about feminists in Kenya and any person really interested in women's rights and dignity for girls standing up to fight for free sanitary pads? How do you feel about that?
So, actually, as you were speaking about the Funga campaign thing, I was also a bit, my mood changed actually. And
Yeah,
being a feminist, I was looking at it in a feminist perspective. Like, why Funga
yeah,
Migu? They come with the root cause. Why did it happen? If it's
exactly.
access to sanitary towel, they need to have a drive or rather a campaign on how these girls can access menstrual products.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy. I'm really happy because feminists in Kenya and also women's rights organization in Kenya are looking at such issues in a feminist perspective, or rather in a
Yeah.
feminist lens. So they don't
Yes.
judge. They're not judgmental. They don't
Yes.
discriminate, but rather
Yeah.
they offer a shoulder to lean on, as well as looking at the root cause. Why did it happen? They don't victimize. I love the fact that
Yes.
feminists don't victimize women. They don't victimize these young girls because of the teenage pregnancy or so, but rather they look at the root cause and see on how they can come up with concrete solutions and recommendations
Yeah.
that can be used to address such challenges. So I'm happy
Yes.
to be a feminist because I use feminist values and principles in all my approaches and interventions. I don't judge, I
Yes.
don't discriminate, I don't
Mm.
victimize our women, but rather look on how we can curb or rather mitigate some of these challenges that our young girls and women are going through.
Yes. Well said, well said. So, what do you think about us starting a revolution about free sanitary pads? That is a debate I want to see on Parliament. What do you think about that?
Power.
More power, feminist power,
Yeah,
superpower.
power. Yeah, superpower. Yeah, we need to have a debate on this, and because again, like when we were starting earlier, I spoke about Scotland, and I really
Yes,
admire that country, and I'm looking forward, like in future, to just visit the country and get to
yes,
like listen the girls and women experiences in matters of menstrual health management. Now that their country has they're distributing free sanitary towels, they're not selling them,
yes,
but here in Kenya it's also being taxed like we are having sanitary towels, they're not even subsidized, na iko kwa inataxiwa, like does it even
exactly.
make sense?
Oppression
I
over
a young
oppression.
girl,
Yes.
eh,
A young girl, continue, please.
okay, I was saying a young girl as young as 10 years who have started menstruating, like she'll go and look for 50 shillings, like the government, they don't even care where this young girl will get that 50 shillings.
Exactly.
You see?
And
And
this is
that's
not
how,
something.
mm,
Yes, and that's how.
and that's
That's
how
how.
we'll keep on having the ripple effects, like school dropouts. We'll have like teenage pregnancies. We'll have so many and when they're not even empowered, they will not make informed decision. Again, we will have no development in this country. When you look at the countries that have female presidents, believe you me, they are developed countries. like
Totally.
they're developing
They
this.
are.
Yeah, their communities, like even the people from the country, they in everything, in social, economic, political, like there is huge development. But again,
Yes.
when you, yeah, so we need to like see on how we can influence our government, to see on how, like, we don't want them to like even subsidize the price, like make it free.
It should be free. It should be free. I
Yeah,
usually think
yeah,
it took a genius. It took a genius to convince us that when we are bleeding, somebody bleeding for somebody bleeding for close to a week. First of all, you're bleeding. Sign removal of blood from your body means there is something wrong. There is an injury. It's a cause for alarm, right? But on top
yeah.
of that, and on top of the pain that we experience, on top of the discomfort, on top of everything, we still have to buy this. And still, I am.
Imagine.
I'm usually surprised. I think this is a genius work. Like, how do you convince people who make up the majority of this world to buy sanitary pads? And it's something that I had to learn when I grew up. It's not, when I was young, I thought, when I was young, I thought that it's normal for you should buy sanitary pads, but I got to a certain age and I started rethinking, and I'm wondering, why the fuck are we buying sanitary pads? There is no reason for it.
Mm,
You said
yeah,
something. You said you're 27, right? And I'm 20.
yeah.
I'm turning 27 in 4 days. So whoop whoop,
Wow.
yay! Uh,
Yeah.
as a menstrual health champion and as a woman who is 27, who is surrounded by many women who are that age, what what are some of the things that me and women who are this age should know about our menstrual health? What are some of these things? Just some key factors, just a few.
First of all, I'll only use like just as like a sort of sentence. I'll say as like a
Whoa. Oh, I lost you. I lost you for a while, Yasmin. You'll have to repeat what you said. I lost you for a while.
okay. So I was saying I'll
Yeah.
only use a sentence. I'll only use a sentence to like share, or rather to answer your question. I will say, like, women of our age, we need to work and prepare the young girls in matters of menstrual health. Let us not
Yeah.
wait to like have our daughters. Let us not wait to have our like our mothers and our friends for us to
Yeah.
discuss matters of menstrual health. Let us
Yeah.
work with a girl from our village. Let us work with a girl from the community that we are coming from, and empower them on
Yes.
matters to do with menstrual health. And it's not only that we will be picking girls who have started menstruating. No, at our organization,
Yes.
what we do is starting the process with girls who have not yet started menstruating. Like, we are
Yes.
preparing them for menstruation. So when they start
Yeah.
menstruating, they'll see it as a normal process. Like, they'll
Yes.
not be ashamed or afraid of talking about it. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that the girls that I have in the organization, when they start menstruating, they usually speak out. Like, they're proud and
Yeah.
they'll say, I've started menstruating. They're happy about it. So we need
Yes.
girls like women of our age, young women of our age should work with young girls who are like transiting, or rather transitioning to puberty, and prepare them
Yes.
enough for menstruation.
I am having such a beautiful conversation with you, Yasmin. I am so glad that I got introduced to you. Oh, by the way, I was given your number by a fellow feminist editor, so I will be telling her thank you after this. And we are almost coming to the close of this conversation. But before we do that, I want you to tell people about this event that you're having tomorrow. Tomorrow is Menstrual Hygiene Day for everyone who is joining. It's tomorrow, Menstrual Hygiene Day. it's a day for menstrual health. It's a day for menstrual awareness, and I am so glad that we decided to do menstrual hygiene on this month, because this is a climax for it. So I would like you to tell us about this event, how we can come to this event, what we can do to join. Just tell us all about it so that the viewers and anyone who would like to join this and support such a worthy cause can contribute.
So tomorrow we'll be celebrating World Menstrual Hygiene Day, and we'll be doing menstrual cycling. We will start at 8 a.m. and the meeting point is at Kibra DC ground. So we will all assemble at Kibra DC ground, and with our bikes. By the way, we'll be cycling. So the main reason as to why we want to cycle is to show solidarity for all menstruators, and also engage. Like we are doing it by force. We want men to like be allies. Like let them not say it's a woman issue. No, they need to be part and parcel of the process as well. So we'll be also engaging boy child in the process, and also keep the conversation going. We want to break the barrier, and there is a lot of myths and misconception. We'll be debunking the myths through awareness creation, still during the activity. Again, the main purpose, what made us do this is because we are fundraising to have a digital pad dispenser. I remember I said we have a pad dispenser, like we made it out of a used water jerrycan. So we are doing this because we want to fundraise to have a digital pad dispenser, as well as fundraising for menstrual health products. We want at the end of the event tomorrow, even if you'll not register, but at least come with a pack of sanitary towel that will support a girl for one menstrual cycle. Again, this will prevent her from transacting sex for sanitary towels, and also using unsanitary materials that will affect her health. So you are all welcome. You are all invited to our activity. It will be tomorrow. We'll be starting at 8 a.m. and we'll be cycling around Kibra through Ngong Road, then back to Kibera, where we will hold our main event. And the main event is celebrating menstrual champions in the informal settlement of Kibra. So we want to celebrate menstrual champion and motivate them to continue doing what they are doing in the fight against period poverty. Yeah. You're also free to join us.
So where are we getting these bikes? I will come. I will come. I must come. Where are we getting these bikes?
So for Kibra residents, we've requested them to, if they have bikes, if they own bikes, they can come with their bikes. But for outsiders, we understand it's too hard. It will be hard for them to cycle all the way from maybe where they're coming from to Kibra. So we'll have someone who will be hiring the bike at an affordable price.
All right. So how much does it cost to register for this event?
To register for our event, it will cost 1,000 shillings, and the 1,000 shillings is inclusive T-shirt. You'll get a wrist rubber band, or you can choose to have a cap and a wrist rubber band, as well as you'll be given water, glucose, and through the event where we'll be having the main event, you'll be given refreshment, and the proceeds will be used in facilitating of menstrual health products, as well as the digital pad dispensers.
All right. So you've heard it, people. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Kibra DC grounds. You register 1,000. You bring a pad, one pad, at least one pad, and every cash that will be gotten from this event will be used to fundraise for pads, for menstrual instruments, and for a digital pads dispenser. I am so happy about that last one. Oh, I want to see it in action. Oh, and
you'll come and see the one that we have, the jerrycan, the pad dispenser that we use as a yeah, you'll come and see it. Now we want to improve.
I am glad that we've had this conversation. I am glad that even when you did not have a digital pad dispenser, you still went for the jerrycan. I mean, that's much. It's more than sitting down and complaining about this. And I'll be celebrating you tomorrow as a menstrual health champion. Thank you for the work that you've been doing for all these years. Thank you for
Thank
agreeing to
you.
have this conversation with me. Thank you for all your insights, and everybody should just come. I've had such a lovely time. Do you have any parting shot? We're almost done with this.
Yeah, what I'd love to share, or rather, my parting shot is that we need to join hands. This requires a collective responsibility. It doesn't necessarily have to be Yasmin's work to like go and distribute sanitary towels. It doesn't have to be Vanessa's work, but rather it is a collective responsibility. Let us join hands. Let us come together and work towards ending period poverty.
Yeah. Feminist power,
Power, superpower.
superpower. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a lovely night for everyone who joined. Have a lovely night, Yasmin. Thank you for everybody who joined. Everybody, let's head to Kibera tomorrow to cycle for menstrual health.
Yay! Yeah, we love you. Bye.
Bye bye.